Right, we should probably unmute the mic. We're back. Just curious here. Yes, Rory. Now don't cross. So. Wow. Yeah. That was a weird series of events because Sis comes by, of course. You know, hi Sis. And then my dad calls because he was saying goodbye. He's packed up for the night. He's actually leaving in like 5 hours to skip traffic. He lives in an RV that he's retired. You know, yay. And so he and Kim, they live in an RV and they just travel the country, setting up shop wherever. So they leave super early to skip traffic because, you know, it's an RV and it's actually really hard to drive that around in traffic. So he wanted to call and say, you know, a final goodbye before they actually packed up and left and whatnot. And then as he was calling, I lost internet for only like a few seconds. It was literally a blip. But the internet went down, and so I lost the stream. Now, it came back really quickly, but I was already on the phone with Dad, and so I just decided to go ahead and stay on the phone with Dad and, you know, say goodnight to him. And yeah, I'm really proud of him for retiring successfully. He's been saving for that for years and years. Oh, don't do that, Titans. Also, it would by definition not be a lore run, because even though I know a great deal about the overall mythos of the FF13 series, I do not have... I have never played the game, so I by definition can't lore run them. It would actually be a blind run. Well, Lord knows Twitch has been not good lately anyways. Frickin' Twitch. Okay, where are we? Ah, right. Come, Serena. Also, I do like a decent amount of FF13 music. I can tell you how Lightning Returns ends, though. It's dumb. So, you know, spoiler alert. Hey, Dan Mason, what is up? I'm still okay with blaming Twitch. I know they've got this Hearthstone thing going on right now, but man, they have just been mean to me all today. My actual opinion on EA is that they have been doing a typical corporate approach to something that should not be corporized. I know that's not a word, just bear with me. Should not be dealt with corporeally, that's also not a word. In other words, they're doing something I completely disagree with. And they've been doing it since the, well, the 90s, honestly. So, as I've said many times before, EA being a corporation that is quote-unquote bad is not actually new. Microprose? Anybody? Seriously, they've literally since the mid-90s, they have been taking companies, other, you know, actual developing companies, eating them, you know, buying them up, and then divvying up their resources amongst their own assets, which pretty much always destroys the company in question. And Microprose is the one I like to go to a lot, but they've done that to a lot of companies in the day. Who are you? Why is there a sword just standing here? I don't think you guys are being vigilant enough. Probably after I finish the roleplay, yes, Dr. Todd. I do kind of want to get through this game. Skyrim is kind of stonewalling most of my other things I want to do right now, and it's such a long game, so I'm going to kind of be ripping through the remaining content here. Yeah, the original Origins. Most people think EA and Origins, they probably think of, you know, their Steam wannabe. True enough, Baronessa. But no, Origins were the people who did Ultima. The old Ultimas, the original Ultimas. A lot of good people. Of course, Westwood is probably the biggest example, but Bullfrog died to the EA monster as well. So, and yeah, BioWare is a very recent addition to their trophy cabinet, as I like to call it. But yeah, EA's been doing that for years. Years and years. 2 decades now. Buy up a company, rip it apart, split up the assets, ruin their corporate problem. Anything positive about EA? No. And I mean that sincerely and without hyperbole. Wouldn't be the first time, Raid. When was the last time you heard about a Westwood game coming out? In fact, most people actually assume Maxis is going to be the next one that actually stops being, an independent label and just gets consumed. Absolutely not, Titans. FF6 should not have a sequel. It definitively ended. Many other companies do that, Rigel, but EA has been doing it for 2 decades. I want to stress that again. Think about how long that is in terms of the gaming industry. Think about how much the gaming industry has changed in 20 years. And think about the fact that EA is still doing the same goddamn thing that they were doing back in the 90s. But anyways. Anything positive about Square? Yes. 2 things positive about Square. One, whenever they allow a third-party developer to do something with their IP, good things tend to come out of it. See all of the proper Final Fantasy remakes as a good example. Or Bravely Default is another good example of this. And 4 Heroes of Light was another good example of this. Those games were not actually made by Square, but Square let those companies make those games. Speaking of which, there is one good thing actually coming out of Square itself, though. That is my sneezing. And that is the Kingdom Hearts series, which is actually produced by Square and is genuinely good. I would say Theatrhythm, but Theatrhythm is also not made by Square, so Theatrhythm is just an example of the first. Hey, Prima. What is up? Eidos can do good stuff, but they can also do terrible stuff, so that's just a coin flip at that point, Chatter. I would go ahead and go with Alteration as the armor skill, personally, Rory, but I think at that point it's a preference thing. I'm actually stuck, by the way. This is hilarious. I'm literally stuck. This is unclimbable. I can't get around this wall, and I can't go this way. I am literally stuck. That's hilarious. So, yeah, Kingdom Hearts is a genuinely good thing. That, came out of Square. Comes out of Square. And then suddenly, Ellie learns to climb the rocks. And she climbs up. And then she does that Zelda thing where she runs the thing and she's like crawling on the side here. Just kind of doing her thing. We made it. I have no idea what the best weapon is. Ask someone who is slightly more into the stats of this game than I. Which is probably anyone. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny, Bandit? I've asked this before, but I feel like asking it again. By the way, with the open cities thing, some of this stuff doesn't actually have collision because it never had collision to begin with. So, yeah, in some cases, see, I can't actually go out there. There's an invisible wall here because you're not supposed to get up here. So, yeah, we have to do this again to get out. There we go. She officially hates this town. So, How many of you have done hardcore playthroughs of open-ended games like the Elder Scrolls series or the Fallouts? For those of you don't not aware, the idea is of a hardcore playthrough, if you get stuck or killed, it's over. In other words, you abandon that character and start over from the beginning. I don't know, Rory. I actually do not. Like I said, I don't know that much about the skill of this game, stats of this game. I usually don't care. I've actually done hardcore games more than a few times, mostly in Morrowind and Oblivion. I've never actually done a hard. No, I did a couple hardcore runs of Skyrim. Never mind. The idea is it completely changes your philosophy and your mindset. You are much more careful in what you do and how you do it if you really want to avoid dying. If you artificially make the penalty for dying basically absolute. And no, I mean just attempting it, Bandit. I have never completed a hardcore run on Skyrim. I have not, Dr. Todd. We are following the Mages Guild questline at the moment because it's going to help where Ellie's going character-wise and development-wise at the moment. And I just realized I kind of want to speed this up, so we're actually not going to... It's right frickin' there. Of course it is. Should have just teleported. Whatever. Hey, Lump Lord. What is up? My first thought is FF7. I don't know why. It's definitely a very specific thing, which is why I've always felt like hardcore modes or hardcore gameplay should be an optional type thing. You could liken it to the well-infamous Nuzlocke challenge in Pokemon, which is optional. Imagine if a Pokemon game came out which forced you to play Nuzlocke. Imagine if a Diablo game came out which forced you to play hardcore, or an Elder Scrolls game which forced you to play hardcore. You wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much, would you? And to be totally blunt, I wouldn't enjoy it as much, and I like that type of gameplay. Let's go back to what we were talking about earlier. Options. You give options, you increase longevity of your game and the enjoyment of your game while it is being played. Oh wow, I missed. No, don't... Shoot, he dodged. Well, we're powerless now because he dodged. Now we'll just run. Run! That would be kind of cool in Raid. Who is that, Chatter? Still don't have enough mana. God dang it. We really need to up our mana. A lot. There we go. Speaking of upping our mana. Mana. Destruction. While that is true, Rigel, I would argue that 99% of the time it is not true. Because when you set a static difficulty, what you are doing artificially is you are limiting your audience. You are ensuring that only people who play the way you have designed it and balanced it to play will actually get that full experience that you just described. And yes, Samurai, I'm actually surprised someone noticed. I keep changing my playstyle based on where the character growth is going. And then, you know, people notice, and that's awesome. Brigwood noticed earlier, too. But yes, I am deliberately being pure mage here to kind of emphasize the variance. So I've seen a lot of people do that exclamation point mods thing. Anybody know what plugin shares the mod list? Because I've got such a huge mod list. I wouldn't mind having that. Right. I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, Rigel. Lord knows I am literally a niche provider myself. I have a niche audience, you guys. And I've always argued that appealing to niche markets in an industry that is as large as video gaming is a good thing. But I still think that there should be options because that's actually also a niche, if you're thinking about it. It's just a different one.
Crystal. Gone.
No, the crystal's gone. Yeah, the Arshan niche. I actually have Nightbot going. What do we got here? You know what? Let's just do this. I'm not complaining, Baroness. I'm not complaining. Every time I see other people's streams, I'm a little weirded out by it. Meh. I'll look that up later. I'll figure out how to do that kind of a mod thing later. Actually, Chatterbox, that's an interesting perspective. But, personally, I tend to, Oh, gotcha, Menace. Thank you. I'll have to do that, obviously, manually. Personally, I've always felt that what really makes political stories interesting is always making sure to have a down, individual human perspective, even if it's not a human, of what's going on and showing the impacts on an individual level and then discussing what's happening on a wide scale to give us that variance and that perspective on exactly how and what things are going on. Good example would be Babylon 5, which had politics that a lot of people, cared about. No, he's dead. Oh, hi, Serena. Sorry. Yeah, I wasn't playing with that corpse. I swear. And 12 was another good example of a game that did that IMO, because I genuinely cared about Bosch and Ash and Vane, and the kid whose name I can never think of, but by God, I cared about him. I don't think I actually... Whoa! Hi. The Synod. What is there to talk about with regards to this Synod? That's a tough one, actually.
Where'd you come from?
Damn it.
Knew I heard something.
Oh my God, you are not Captain Bosch, you jackass. You're all fired from the Scourge. Yeah, it was, wasn't it, Samurai? Correct, Javan. Curious what you're going to do in there since you're doomed. I'm also curious if you've ever been in a prison before to understand that that's not how prisons work. We'll just let Serena fight for us. We got this. Well, yeah, they're from Oblivion, but... Well, okay. They're from Oblivion. They're from Cyrodiil. How do I put this? Okay. How many of you know much about the Mages Guild in lore sense in the Elder Scrolls series? Let's get... there we go. You notice I didn't mention Vaughn, Titans. I'm sure that there's some people, probably in Japan, who care about Vaughn. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I am just not among those people. Yeah, I don't like playing as a mage either.
Where'd you come
But I am, as ever, a slave of my stream viewers, and they voted for me to be a mage. I really don't like being a mage in Skyrim. I actually like Penilla more than Vaughn, but I talked about that during from my FF12 lore run. Feel free to go watch that. Actually, I mean in character, Chauvin.
Who's there?
Goodbye. I knew it, Omni. You secretly hate every Final Fantasy, especially 9. Syria Numina? Is that how it is, chatter? Serena? So you're on Mophimus. Sorry, I kind of got interrupted there. I like how no one's actually answered my question. I wonder if I'm having issues again. Okay. Yeah. Help! Those are the best reasons ever, Titan. Truly. Serenumia. What I asked is how many of you know a decent amount about the Mages Guild in Elder Scrolls outside of, you know, the quests you do for them in the individual games. In other words, the actual lore of the Mages Guild itself. You know nothing! Freaking Dwemer. Alright. Oh, wow. Huh? Really? God, I've been just crashing all over the place tonight. Where was our last save for that? Oh, jeez. Nowhere. Okay, you know what? I'm kind of tired of this. Like, I'm really tired of this. TGM. 90. That's what you guys like. Tired of this place already. And then suddenly spikes that I don't even trigger. Come on, enemies, let's go. Die. Die. Yeah, I got above them. The Mages Guild was originally founded as a political tool. That probably doesn't surprise you from if you know anything about them at all. But basically the idea was they needed to keep them under wraps, but also to use them as an asset rather than an obstacle, because mages had already been doing their own thing for some time. Thing is, random mages going off doing their own thing is not really what you'd call conductive towards civilization or sanity or safety. So, I forget who actually founded the Mages Guild, but it was one of the older groups. This was after the Psijic Order started being his thing. Hey, Flamecrow. Am I still here? Yeah, I'm still here. And because I'm in the mood, not in the mood to deal with this wrath. I'm really not in the mood to deal with this, so I'm just gonna push through this and get it over with. Not in the mood. Where was I? Mages Guild was founded as a political tool, keep all that under wraps, and to use all of that magical power in order to push the power of the throne, basically, of the Empire. Now, okay, he's dead. We're back where we crashed randomly. Thing is, the Mages Guild always had to be very careful about policing itself. And some people aren't aware of this, but the Mages Guild has actually had a very long-standing policy against necromancy. Going all the way back to the Mages Guild Foundation, where that was one of the original tenets of the Mages Guild, was we refuse to allow necromancers in the guild, right? No, not the Tevinter. No, we sit here and let our mana regen. That's pretty true, isn't it, Titans? So, the Mages Guild kind of went up and down. I'm just going to skip forward a bit because there's some fascinating history there, but it's all just history. The Oblivion Crisis was blamed on magic in general because most people didn't actually know what the hell was going on. And the mages were blamed not just for the death of the Emperor. When I say the mages, I mean mages, as in magic, was blamed for the death of the Emperor and for the Oblivion Gates and for the Daedric invasions. So there was a huge amount of public pressure to basically go on a pretty big mage hunt. That didn't quite boil over into full-out riots or literal witch hunts. Instead, what we got was a situation where pretty much anything that was legitimately... Why would I do that, Javan? God, you're weird. Anything that... yeah, Manny Marco. Anyways, anything to do with magic at all that was legal was made illegal. And so magic itself became illegal, at which point the guild was actually forcefully shut down. Now, two groups survived the shutting down of the Mages Guild, one of which is the Synod Order, and one of which is the College of Mages. Now, the College of Mages is best described as politicians who dabble in magic. I could go into detail, but that really does summarize them quite well. Thalmor Mages didn't take credit, Wrath. Thalmor took credit. And I think you probably understand the distinction when it comes to a PR side of things, don't you? Regardless, so... Am I a vampire right now? Should be. Yeah. Hang on a second. Yeah, I am. Okay, whatever. So yeah, the Mages Guild got completely disbanded. The College of Mages just kept using... basically cantrips, mild, weaker magic, which was considered acceptable socially, and maintained their existence as a political tool. The Synods, they wanted to go back to actually what is usually referred to as pure research. This is a concept in real life, too. The idea of researching knowledge and acquisition of, you know, the spreading of research and knowledge and science purely for its own sake, never to actually utilize it. No fundamental, no usable, no practical applications of their research, just the knowledge itself. That's kind of where the Synod were going. Now, over time, that kind of changed, of course. Ugh, get over. Oh, whatever, screw it. Over time, that kind of changed. Right now, I'm doing the Mages Guild quest for the Staff of Magnus, I do believe. I can think of a few good things to say outside Ubisoft. You guys really don't want to talk about Skyrim, dude. I just keep getting asked about everything else under the sun today. Anyways. Now, the Winterhold College was always its own separate sect. And they actually were originally going to join up with the Synod, except for the fact that the College of Mages also wanted to get involved in that little political thing. Oh, frickin' Falmer. So, yeah, they, screwed it up, basically. The politics screwed up the possibility of that happening, and it got to the point where the Winterhold College could not publicly ally with any other mage groups because of the fact that it would have looked really bad to the Nords of Skyrim, who traditionally have a great deal of distaste and distrust for magic. Damn it, Samurai. Now, the part about this I find most interesting is the fact that because of this stupidity, and that's what it is, let's just go ahead and call it that, magic as a whole has basically gotten weaker. You know, for all intents and purposes, the knowledge and understanding and power and people who use magic have gotten weaker compared to previous generations. And I find that interesting because one thing you'll notice about virtually every fantasy setting ever is the older eras had the big, incredibly powerful, ridiculously amazing people, right? You know, the ancient powers and the ancient gods and the ancient strengths of the ancient crafting, and everything older is always more powerful, right? And while that could be considered a cliche, it's actually not. It's a deliberate thing you do, which I've talked about before, and I don't want to go into it. Oh, we're going to get there, Titans. Believe me. God, my nose itches. But it's something done deliberately to make the modern era feel more manageable, more personable, more approachable, more down to earth. So all the stuff from the older eras is always so much stronger and whatnot, specifically to emphasize the present, usually. Not always. That being said, the reason I mention this weakening of stuff across, you know, Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim is because it's not just magic, it's been happening in general. Artifacts in general getting weaker, Daedra are having less influence, the Nine are having less influence, you know, the Aedra. It makes me wonder if the Elder Scrolls series thus far has been that journey that we never actually see in other fantasy settings. You know, there's always an interim between the ancient days when everything was amazing and high-powered and incredible, and the modern era where everything is much more down to earth. And in the Elder Scrolls, I feel like we're actually seeing that progress, that process of everything getting weaker and leading itself towards, you know, Dark Souls, basically. When everything has already died. Of course, that's just my interpretation. As for where Elder Scrolls 6 will be, who knows? But I would love to see a Black Marsh Elder Scrolls 6. And yeah, Grote, that is correct. Like I said, it is a very common trope, and I've seen it used correctly pretty commonly, actually. It's a trope I myself agree with. If you paid attention to my Primus campaign, I use it there, too. Most of the incredibly powerful stuff that people are doing is reverse engineered from the ancients that haven't been around in 2 centuries. And by the way, Elsewhere or Black Marsh combined would be another thing I could see happening. And would be awesome, actually. 2 places that haven't really gotten the limelight. Then again, neither is High Rock. And Lord knows the orcs have not really had a chance to be in the spotlight yet. Yeah, it would be nice, Samurai, but no, Kilgore. I don't think I mentioned faith at all in that. Why would I hotkey spells, Javin? You are so weird. Also, I've never played a mage before, so I just found out about 3 seconds ago that you can apparently hotkey your spells. Elder Scrolls 7, Akaviri. That would be pretty awesome, if they did it right, which they probably would, because it's Bethesda. ESO has been doing kind of badly, but I don't know how it's doing in the eyes of the executives, which is where it matters. Unfortunately. I would be a little irritated if they jumped to Akaviri and didn't finish up the several major plot threads currently existing in the world, but, you know, that's just me. It isn't a Bethesda game, Korgoth. Literally isn't. Bethesda did not really do anything for it. Little bit of consulting work on the lore, that's it. Kashyyyk and the Wookiees, definitely. No question. Damn it. Dead end. Thuum is a form of magic, yes, which is funny when you think about it. Alright. I think it's time we talk about the character. At least assuming anyone's actually interested in it. Is anybody interested in talking about the character? I'm just curious. Dunmer. Pirate. Damn it, really? Freaking Falmer. And they're freaking bugs. I hate those bugs so much.
Where'd you come from?
Well, okay, Samurai. I'll just shush.
Who's there?
Alright, I'll talk. Okay. As usual, you guys are about to make a decision with regards to Ellie and what exactly she's going to be doing. We don't have enough information to concretely decide that she understands, well, hello, that she understands what is causing the changes in her. But we have decided that as of this point in time, she is fairly certain of the fact that she is not being influenced by her vampirism like she originally thought, right? Hell, I don't know. I got tons of magic. Magic. So Ellie here, I've been kind of taking her in a direction I kind of like, but it's ultimately your guys' choice, because that's the way the stream works. You guys decide the character. The idea here is that she has become more accustomed to what the sword is doing to her, to how it's changing her perspectives and making her more aggressive, filling her with more power, more rage, more energy. You know, she feels alive. You notice I haven't slept since that happened. I've been doing that on purpose because, I mean, obviously she's a vampire and doesn't really need to sleep, but the point I'm trying to get across is that she has been fully invigorated ever since she picked up that sword. She is not even tired or, you know, losing interest or energy or anything. She's just go. So she's enjoying this feeling of this, right? Well, okay, I'm jumping ahead. She is definitely feeling invigorated by the usage of the sword. The question, even just having it in her inventory, the question you guys need to decide now is which direction that's going to lean in. Is she going to become more and more accustomed to this power and this energy and this vigor and this strength and grow to like it more? Even though she doesn't know where it's coming from yet, she could probably at this point just assume it's coming from the vampiric lord thing she just took. Or do you think it's starting to bother her? Because you could think about it, given all that's happened to her, and given what we already know she can, what she already knows she is capable of, while she is under the influence of whatever this is, she may think that she doesn't like herself like that. She may not want to be that kind of person, and be the kind of individual who is capable of, for example, or murdering completely innocent people for no reason other than the fact that they happen to be in front of her. So, what do you guys think? I'll go ahead and tell you my reasons why I like the idea that she's getting used to the power. I like it because it's a slightly different slant on the idea of the power-crazed individual. The idea here, to use a Lord of the Rings example, of someone who took the One Ring, other than Sauron, and actually did use it properly, because they were the one person who had the ability to do that. Obviously, there isn't really anyone in Lord of the Rings like that, but there is in Elder Scrolls because of the main characters, because of the champions. The champions, the heroes of each game, are the only ones, I would say personally, who have the capacity to even make that kind of a choice. Everyone else would just be consumed by the sword, right? Just like everyone else in Lord of the Rings would be consumed by the ring. So we have this unique opportunity of someone who can actually use this, like literally everyone else can't. And yeah, she has morals, definitely. They're just kind of a little warped because she was, you know, an assassin in the Morag Tong. Hello.
What have you done with Gavros?
I came looking for the Synod.
It was the Falmer, wasn't it? Curse them. They've ruined everything. Gavros is gone.
Yeah, the stream has been determining most of her story as we go through the game so far, Fire. It's been pretty fun.
Wasted. And you, if you're here for treasure, wisdom, or anything, I'm afraid you've wasted your time.
But I won't. Penumbra is the sword that's corrupting her, Fire Fisto. Let's go ahead and throw this up for a vote. So, real simple poll, binary choice. Enjoys the power? Rejects the power. Very simple. 1 or 2, vote it up.
It didn't work the first time. I tried to tell Gavros, but he wouldn't listen. No, it won't be too cold, he said. Well, I was right, wasn't I? Focused completely wrong by the time we got here. The cold had warped it. Gavros had to cart it all the way back to Cyrodiil. Left the rest of us here to fend off the damnable Falmer.
Is this what you were looking for?
You found... How in the world? That's it? That's it! I don't know who you are, but you may have just saved this little project. In fact, who are you anyway?
I am your destruction through... No, I am your salvation through destruction.
You are.
Yeah.
Gavros wouldn't even grant us an audience when we came to you. But now you come here expecting something from me. I don't much like this, I'll tell you. But you saved my skin, so maybe I could overlook the past for now. Come on, I'll explain on the way.
So like I said, the Synod are pretty much research for research's sake, and they're very unliked by the College of Winterhold, which is why they weren't even allowed an audience to coordinate with them and operate in Skyrim. In the region of Skyrim.
You know what Gavros said? This was my idea first. The council is going to know that when I get back.
These are the kind of people, if you've ever seen modern day fiction, where they talk about all the scientist cares about is their research grants, and being the person who puts out the paper for the discovery, that kind of a person. That's pretty much the Synod in a nutshell.
I was the one who thought of using this ocular. I don't know what the dwarves called it. Something unpronounceable, I'm sure. From all our research, it seems they were intent on discerning the nature of the divine. This machinery, all of it, was designed to collect starlight. And then, I'm not sure. Did it somehow? It was my idea to replace one of the key elements with our focusing crystal. Months of enchantment.
She was Fire.
Let's just hope they got it right.
She's kind of been doing this thing. Who would be a great choice for the next James Bond? I would not be a good James Bond. She got infected completely by random chance. That wasn't voted for, it just happened by accident. So, and she wasn't even aware that she became infected until she rushed out and murdered some bandits and ripped their necks open brutally and violently.
Magnificent, isn't it?
She, however, has accepted, since that was forever ago, she has since accepted becoming a vampire, and has actually rejected a vampire cure in favor of becoming a vampire long-term, because she believes she can actually do good as a vampire long-term. Again, most of this was voted by the stream. Shadow, what is with you tonight? You just keep thinking I'm insulting people or groups or whatnot when I am not. Yeah, the beginning of the today's stream was a huge character moment for her. We actually had to pause for the night because I had to think of a way out of the situation we'd gotten ourselves in. Hey, another one of these puzzles. Oh, this is an easy one. Okay, yeah, so I just need, No? Serena. Oh no, she gives into her thirst all the time. She just goes for targets she considers to be acceptable. Go watch it, Samurai. You'll see. Archie and Guy the Argonian, we will be meeting later. If that gives you an idea, Titan. No? Okay, I don't know what to do here. This is not the puzzle I thought it was. Serena! Seriously! Ah! Stop crowding me up here. Oh my god. Now I'll mash buttons. Mash buttons until I get there. I could be a vampire if it was a specific type of vampire. And that's always the requirement, in my mind. The type of vampire. Her only followers so far are Lydia, who is currently at home watching after her adopted daughters, and Serena, who is a vampire. Yes, Serena is feeling up, Ellie. Oh, that's right, Cyric. God, I remember that. Okay. So I'm just sitting here like... actually, I'm not sure I have such a spell. Let's find out, shall we? Where's Destruction? I do have Ice Spike. No? Alright, how about this part? There we go. Too far. Really, Rory? That doesn't even surprise me, I guess. That's what I thought. Alright. I have to get... for fricks, there's Pascadai. Get up close. Ellie, we've decided she likes alto wine. Anything past that is up to you guys. Hang on, where is... I need to redo my hotkeys here. There we go. Alright, we'll just try that one. I am definitely not a genius. I am the stupidest person I know, Bandit. And I know some stupid people. I don't know, another hour or so. I don't actually have a deadline tomorrow. I'm just back on my normal schedule of making videos. Ellie is a Dunmer. The best race of all. I'm kidding. I actually prefer Argonian. Don't have the range. Oh no, he was definitely smarter than I am, Samurai. Republican or Foulspice, my question to you is, in what era are you asking that question? Because what the Democrats claim to care about and what the Republicans claim to care about has changed pretty often And more than a few times in my own lifetime. There we go. I had to hit each beam individually. Stupid frickin' game. Imperial! Except we haven't chosen that yet. But early on in the game, she had some rather bad experiences with the Stormcloaks, which probably doesn't surprise you since she's a Dunmer. Yeah, that's... Depends on who you ask as to whether it matters. Yeah, this one. There we go.
Finally going to pay. What's this? These results. They're not at all what they should be.
I remember this.
Projection should be lit up like the night sky. Something is creating an incredible amount of interference.
You see Vanderfall there?
Something in Winterhold.
Morrowind?
What are you playing at?
Skyrim?
Some attempt to stall my work?
High Rock, Hammerfell, Cyrodiil, can't even see the rest.
So what is it? What have you done?
I haven't done jack.
You were attempting?
No.
Are you here to make sure your plan worked? That our
No.
efforts have been for nothing?
No.
Well, explain yourself.
No. You'd better calm down, boy.
You and your college have ruined years of my work. I've lost colleagues and friends to the Falmer, and you want me to calm down? How did you do it?
Should we kill him?
Just look. This should be lit up brighter than the night sky, and it's not. Clearly you interfered somehow. Or you have something at your college, don't you? Something immensely powerful, beyond anything I've anticipated. What is it? The Eye of Magnus. Well, I suppose that means what I think it does. Well, that's interesting. Yes, the staff. Interesting. I can't explain the details. That would be giving away many secrets the Synod have learned over the years.
She basically hasn't used it yet, Fire. Although she also thinks the Dragonborn is just a silly myth so far.
Orrery in the Imperial City. It was the inspiration for this idea. Instead of
See you around, Humanization.
we project all of Tamriel, and then harness the latent energies to overlay the positions of... What's important is that all of this work was designed to reveal to us sources of great magical power.
Uh-huh.
Purely to help safeguard the Empire, of course.
Political tool.
And yet, in the
What'd I tell you
end,
guys?
only 2 locations have been revealed to us. One is your college. The other, well, that can only be Labyrinthian. So, mage from Winterhold, despite your intentions, I've beaten your little game, even if all you've said here is lies. I know you have something in Winterhold the Synod Council will be very interested in. So fine, trudge off to Labyrinthian in search of your... This is not over, I assure you. I think we're done.
Enjoy your report. I don't understand your question, Chatter. Yeah, that guy actually did kind of need to die. Then again, most of the Synod are a little bit... whew. And again, political tools. So... Now, there is something that was very important that he mentioned there, and I really hope you're paying attention to it. They were specifically looking for sources of tremendous power, and there's only one reason that could be happening. And that is if the current Imperial leadership, or the current leadership of the College of Mages, is trying to bolster itself for a renewed campaign against the Thalmor. Hello.
You have done well thus far, but trying times are ahead. It is imperative that you return to your college at once. You will be called on to take swift action, rise to the challenge, and discover what you are capable of. You are on the right path, and you will prevail.
I do like the time freeze graphic there. The white gold concordat. Damn it, Voldemort's gonna make him report to him? That's just terrible. Why does it say to go in there? Why does it say to go in there? Anybody? I don't understand this. I believe so, pirate. And of course, now it says to go up here. Whatever. Let's just go. Yeah, she's actually been going out of her way to do things that are genuinely evil. A lot of killing, but she's an assassin. She's used to that. Alright, so this is actually really important. As I've said several times before...
You know, they say knowledge is its own reward.
Right. We already mentioned that the massive amount of magical power that helps maintain and sustain the College of Winterhold. Why would I want loot? God, you're weird. The thing that the energies that maintain this place have a tremendous calming effect on Ellie, right? And so every time she comes back here, whatever's going through her heart or her mind at the time is reduced in its impact on her. Earlier, before she picked up a magical sword that was trying to convince her into hideously evilness, she was still having a bit of trauma, partially because of the Dark Brotherhood, partially because of not sleeping for days, partially because of being attacked in, Winterhold, or not Winterhold, the other area. Windhelm, that's the spot. So she comes here kind of on a whim, and it was a very calming, relaxing effect on her. It helped her stabilize emotionally, mentally. Well, when she came back here last time, just prior to now, she was with the Morag Tong Fire Fist, which should answer that question for you. The killers with a conscience who are legalized. Anyways, so she comes back here, and it's, again, calming her. But the point I'm trying to make here is that when she left, she was more violent, more angry, more aggressive, just brutally murdering her way through it. And she did kill that guy, and that is canon. Even if he was an irritant, I'm not sure he actually deserved to die. But she thought he did because, God, she just couldn't take it, and the aggression and violence was pulsing on her again, right? So she gets back here and she feels better again, and she's starting to put two and two together. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when she has to pull away from here permanently, especially since she's probably going to become the Archmage, and we're actually going to have to come up with an in-lore reason for her to keep adventuring rather than just staying here where they feel safe. Oh, right. Speaking of which, now that we're done with that... Oh, wow! I'm actually surprised at you guys. Alright. Well, the other reason... That's actually going to make our decision harder, because we're going to have to come up with a reason for her to continue adventuring. And she's going to have to reject the sword. Spatial, it depends on which setting it is. Spatial tends to be a little bit more inclined towards acting a little bit differently and unusually and thinking outside of the box, that kind of a thing. And the intent of taking care of others to the point of being self-sacrificing. Hence that.
No, it's like a lord. Who's casting? On Kano? How?
I don't care what it is. I want it down now.
I think she feels bloodthirsty rage, Rory. Uh-oh, Pyro. What horrible answer have you got for me?
I don't know what he's doing, but he won't get away with it. Excellent. I'd suggest that we go retrieve it immediately. But right now we have more pressing matters. Ancano has somehow locked himself in the hall. It's up to something, and I intend to put a stop to it.
I'll go ahead and show you the stats, Fire, but it's actually kind of a mundane weapon. It's a nice weapon. For those of you not aware, Eleanor Saber there, 20 damage, blah, blah, blah. Here's Penumbra with 50 damage at 15 weight. A light ebony sword. Oh. Note that they needed her to help with that. Think about that.
What's going on?
Encano, stop this at once. I command you.
Don't go near him.
I kind of like that, Pyro. She's going to have to deal with the sword rather than just abandoning it.
Can you walk? I need you on your feet. We're in trouble here.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Ancano is doing something with that thing, the eye. We can't stop him. I haven't seen Savo since the explosion. He must have been blown clear, and he may be injured. I need you to find the Archmage, and I need you to do it quickly. Get moving. I'll be fine. I just need a minute to catch my breath. Find Savos.
Mraid, as much as that probably sounds amusing, the problem is then Ulfric would have Penumbra, and all that power, and none of the ability to resist it. We've never drunk Dunmer blood, have we?
Someone's being attacked.
He's not.
This must be
Are
that
you all right?
little Skyrim
What happened in
map.
Why the nine is he responsible for this? The Archmage? Dead? There's more. Something's happened to Winter. Must be whatever.
If it's an artifact shadow, the answer to that is generally no.
Sure it's safe.
It's yes, but you have to do so much to do it.
I'll find Mirabelle and see if we can't put a stop to this.
Well, she hasn't fed in quite a while, Job, and remember, she's trying to be pretty good about keeping herself fed lately. However, I don't think she liked his blood. I don't think she liked the taste of it much.
What's going? Never should have come.
Whoa! Guys, what the hell are you attacking me for? Of course, that's what I know why they're attacking me. It's just so let's not drink the blood of the Archmage here.
Is he There's quickly now, quickly. I'll find Mirabelle and see if we can't put a stop to this.
Is he dead?
There we go. So okay, not drinking the Archmage's blood, so the entire Mages College doesn't come after us.
What's going on? What happened to you?
There we go.
We'll go with you, but when this is all over, what's going on? What happened to you?
No explanations. I'm out. Well, it's okay. It didn't taste good, anyways. She was debating it, though. She was tempted, but she decided against it.
Who's there?
One of the other things I've been going out of my way to do is to not use the sword. At some point, she's gonna have to use it again, and I think we're actually at that point now. Could be wrong. Yeah, we're at that point now. So, see, this is like doing nothing to them because they have such high magic resistance, and so her incredible magic is finally failing her, which means she has to pull this thing back out. And hey, what do you know? It's super effective. I would not want to imagine doing this as a pure mage. As you are probably aware, I've never actually played a pure mage, so never actually had that problem here. I'd hate to do this as an archer too. No, didn't you watch it, Javin? They were getting damaged very slowly, even with both things. Besides, she was going to use the sword eventually anyways. This is as good a time as any. Now, this is really important. She used the sword. She's outside of the Mages Guild, College of Mages. Now, the Bloodlust doesn't take hold that quickly. That's not how that works. But obviously at this point, she's got a little bit of that power pumping through her. And according to you guys, she doesn't like that power pumping through her. The reason this is significant is because this is probably the first actual time she can actually put a one-to-one in what is causing her to feel this way and what is giving her this ability. This is probably the first time she actually has some honest-to-God proof to say, oh, it's this thing. No, Fire Fist. We decided that, it was one of the first things we decided in the stream. And I do say we, I agreed with that. She should not, but the stream also voted not to. She's actually wearing a mixture of pieces. Some of this is Dark Brotherhood stuff, some of this is Mage stuff, some of this is mod stuff.
Well, is everything out there all right? Wish I could say the same for us. Tolfdir and I can try and keep this contained. You need to get your hands on the Staff of Magnus, now. What? Are you sure? The staff is there. That can't be a coincidence. The Archmage. He gave me something just a little while ago. He told me it was from Labyrinthian and that I would know what to do with it in the
I hate it, Shadow, but that's a preference thing.
I think he meant this for you then. We're not sure why, but there was something very personal about it for him. I think you should take this amulet. It belonged to Savos, but I think it would do you the most good now. Take it and get out of here. Bring back that staff before Onkano brings the whole college down around us.
So, I don't even remember which amulet we get from her. Ah, that one. Oh yeah, I actually like that amulet. We're going to use that. So, it was asked earlier by Samurai, can we think this is reasonable proof of the fact that the sword is causing it? Honestly, I'm going to let you guys decide this. So we're going to go ahead and set up a poll here. Make sure there's no outstanding polls. Okay. I don't know, Shadow. Not that I'm aware. We'll go with... Okay, this is going to be a yes or no question. The question here, I know you're not going to hear it for 30 seconds, is whether or not she decides... Whether or not she puts two and two together and figures out specifically that the sword is doing it. Now, you might be like, well, of course she does, but try to keep in mind this sword is constantly affecting and influencing her mind in ways that she isn't aware of, right? So, she, it's not necessarily, you know, a one-to-one situation where she would be like, oh, well, it's obviously the sword, because it's still influencing her thoughts and her ability to concentrate and to think about it in such a way. You know, I keep pointing to the One Ring situation. Now, that being said, she is the Dragonborn, so she has the ability, where most others simply would not, in order to put two and two together and say, it's the sword. You notice I'm keeping it out for now, and I will continue to do so for at least a bit. But we need to decide basically now if she's going to keep using this sucker, or, well, if she's going to figure out that it's it, because you guys have already decided she's rejecting the power, which means she's going to try and get rid of the sword and not master it. She does love that killing, though. I have no idea what her mana pool is. Her mana pool is 260. You guys need to listen. I told you what the question is. God, I even explained it. Yeesh. You have the question is, does she realize it's the sword? Yes or no? And you know, and it's not that simple though, because it's not just, oh, it's obvious, because again, the sword's influencing her. The sword is affecting her perception and ability to think. So is she putting two and two together and realizing this sword is what's been affecting her this whole time? Yeah, Lurker has the right of it there. Whoa, let's not die too. I've died so many times to random falling damage in this game. I am so not used to that. In Oblivion, you can, or in a Morrowind, you could crank your acrobatics, but in Skyrim, it's like, oh, I died. I'm the Dragonborn, the weakest of all the protagonists. Yeah, that's pretty much where this is going, because we're actually going to have a unique possibility of getting rid of the sword in the Labyrinthian, if you think about it. Although we'll put that to a vote as well, if she'll get rid of it in here, or if she'll try to go on her own little quest to dispose of it elsewise. Exactly, Shadow. Unless you're being sarcastic. And Wrath is correct. Bilbo had no idea. And yeah, no matter what we decide, we will have to make it a justification for it, a in-character reason for it. Oh no, she definitely knows about and believes in the Daedra. Not sure what she thinks about the Aedra. We never actually established that. She does also practice ancestor worship. We established that as well. Which is one of the reasons why when she went to the Soul Cairn, it had such a, no pun intended, soul-crushing effect on her. Because, you know, ancestor worshipper who sees that kind of a place. And yeah, Titans, that's actually absolutely correct. I've been doing that very much on purpose. Because again, the sword is deflecting her thought processes on the matter. It's like, oh, well, no, it's this thing. Oh, no, it's that thing. It wasn't until she had hard, concrete proof of the fact that it was not her vampirism, with an external individual supporting that, who was an ancient and well-experienced vampire, that she realized it was not her vampirism. And that's important, too. If Serena had not been here, I feel like Ellie would have had a much harder time of a lot of what's been going on with her with this sword. Yeah, of course you can, Shadow. Except for Alduin, because you need that stupid shout in order to get rid of the fog of time consumption, or whatever the crap they actually call that stupid frickin' thing. Hey, Krenzler. Are you a bandit? Who the hell are you? Hey, listen, you want to talk? Oh, well, okay. Frickin' Silverhand. Come on up, boy. Come on. No. Come on. Actually, I believe we already established Penumbra was made by Clavicus Vile, specifically. Whiterun is actually a pretty safe place to live, yeah. Yes, she definitely believes in the afterlife, especially since she's actually talked to her own ancestors. The vote, Krenzler, is whether or not she realizes the sword, puts two to two together with all the information available to her and realizes it's the sword that's affecting her. Which is not as simple of a question as it sounds, as I've already explained 3 times now. But feel free to vote in, Krenzler. Lord knows you've been part of her story a lot. One of the intentions with this stream is to make a character you guys care about by having you people, you know, my viewers, help craft that character. Let's find out, Krenzler. Oh, wow, that's a close one. That is definitely a close one. To my knowledge, most of them don't actually have an effect, chatter, but that's because they didn't actually intend for them to have an effect. They have to. There's no innate effect from items like that unless you're extremely weak-willed, and if you are, you don't have something like that to begin with because you're not strong enough to actually have it. Oh wait, we're fighting a psycho for the first time in a bit here. What'd you vote for, Samurai? Just out of curiosity. If it was easy, Javan, everyone would do it. Alright, what's the mod, Baronessa? Mute. Oh, I actually used that mod for a bit. Very unlikely. Fire. Hey, Serena. Serena. Depends on how you define that, Shadow. Most people just call it the Nern, or Tamriel, for the continent. But yeah, you can use the call the world the Nern, or the Mundus. Like I said, it's actually not a binary thing. In case you're wondering, yes, this is all in character. She is deliberately going across and butchering people with the sword. I don't have any Skyrim music at all. No, chatter. I don't actually like Skyrim's music that much. Sorry. I agree, Samurai. I just don't think it should be that quick. Of course, I also don't think she should get rid of the sword, but that's my opinion. You guys gave her the sword. I made that completely up to you guys. Mundus, actually, but yes, that is the root, Shadow. Vote it up, Cyric. As ever, it is not as simple as an issue. God, I've said that 4 times now? 5 people? At this point, she is butchering people, kind of both, actually. Lord knows that these people are certainly people who deserve death, so she doesn't exactly... There's no recasting, sorry, Mother. But yeah, this is both conscious and unconscious. She comes to these people and she sees that this is an outlet, is what she's doing here. She sees these people who are bandits and robbers, and she knows bandits. And we established that way early in her character, that she has a very particular perspective on bandits. And they are basically, what is it, hostis inhumanis, something like that? In other words, enemies of humanity, or anything goes against them. So she has no problem killing them, but as she's doing this, she probably realizes one way or another that it's not the killing the bandits that matters, it's the killing that matters. And that's what she needs right now. Yeah, I know. God. We had to call in a tiebreaker vote on that from someone who didn't even know anything about it, specifically to get a tiebreaker vote. And we had to call 1 person instead of 2, which is what I was going to do. Because otherwise it might have died again. Oh, right, I've been here. Yeah, Javan, where you been, man? Yeesh, you could have saved Ellie from all of this. She feels that killing is a necessary evil. She thinks that people think of life as too casual, too irreverently. She thinks people don't value life as much as they should, but as a professional assassin, she does think that killing is a necessary thing sometime. Third was Samurai. think we're done with voting, though. Has anybody not voted? Get your votes in now before it's cut off forever. Oh, shush, Fat Squeak. Fat Squeak is a casual gamer. I don't know what Dim Hollow Crypt is, but we're not going there. We're going there. Hey, Dan Mason, again. Thank you, Fire. I've been told I should do voice acting, which is why I am now. For a brand new feature, just went live last Friday. Nobody does, Shadow. Especially since they're actually inaccurate terms. When you get down to it. Oh, gotcha, Titans. We should go ahead and get their vote in here. Oh, was Sean our last voter? Yeah, Sean. I'm going to go ahead and call Sean our last voter here. What are we at? Alright. Well, no matter how that vote went, all our actions out here have been moving towards it. The idea here is that she's out here butchering, killing, murdering, etc. Ah, perfect. Are you an innocent? Excellent. Wait, really? Oh, here we go. Perfect. So, she kills lots of bandits on her way over here, right? Comes to here. I was actually hoping for something like this. Finds a completely innocent individual, and without even thinking about it, just waltzes right up there and guts him. Right on through. Naturally, that makes the guard attack her. So, she kills the guard. And oh, this is beautiful. There's even blood on the sword. You see it there? So she looks at the blood on the sword, and this moment right here is when she finally actually puts two and two together and realizes that the sword itself is what's causing her to be like this and act like this and give her this aggression and this power. So naturally she tries to throw it down. Can't do it. Can't get rid of it. Not that easily. Not that simply. So she tries again, she's trying to put the sword down and it's just not working. But since she is recognizing it, she puts her will into it, her strength into it, and holsters it, which is all she can actually manage at the moment. But now she realizes it's the sword, and given what we've already established for her character, I'm sorry guys, I'm pretty sure that she adamantly wants to get rid of this thing now. Because of what it makes her do. So she's going to go ahead and equip something a little bit less that way. Screw it, we'll just pull the antipote out here. Depends, Shadow. Roman Empire? What do you mean, Titans? I don't do anything disturbing. Not disturbing, watch Game of Thrones. That's disturbing. Ugh. All I gotta say about it is the rat torture. Ugh. She could fire. She actually used a dagger for a long time until she found the sword. In which point she basically abandoned the dagger in favor of it. Am I at least in the right area here? I am, oh, thank God. Yeah, there's plenty of things that are disturbing. I'm nowhere near disturbing. Now, killering. Pretty good at killering. No, I think actually the most disturbing movie I've ever seen. I'm not even going to name it, and you guys won't coax it out of me. But it was a Cold War era movie. No, not that one. Not the one you're thinking about. Savros? Hey. You're a ghost. Right, okay.
Come on, we're finally here. Let's not waste any more time. Are we truly sure this is a good idea?
We'll be back at the college before anyone even knows we're gone.
You would care about that, since you're the Archmage's favorite.
Don't forget, this whole idea was ours to begin with.
Let's just get inside. See what's in there.
Couple dead people.
I can't believe we're doing this.
Can you imagine the looks on their faces when we come back?
You keep talking like you're sure we'll find something useful in here.
Given the history
I
of
was always taught to avoid these types of moments. I see why now.
Enchanted weapons, tomes of ancient knowledge, Shalador's secrets themselves. Who knows what we could find?
And what if there are things guarding this place?
Against 6 college-trained mages? I think we'll be fine.
There she is. Yeah, 6 college-trained mages. They've got this. Oh, it's just some ebony sword I found and gave to her. You didn't miss anything, Krenzler. Yes, I do, Chatter. I'm glad the man managed to make something out of his career. And a little bit envious, admittedly. Oh wow, I totally screwed that up. I forgot which spells I had equipped. Get back. Alright, we officially need a new tactic here. I completely screwed up the entrance here because I forgot which spells I had equipped. So I kind of messed up a little bit. And the dragon's just breathing frost on me over and over. Okay, so Titans, we are currently here searching the Staff of Magnus in order to try and deal with the fact that Ancano has decided to activate the Eye of Magnus. And obviously that's bad, and we don't like that. Aw, no soul to consume. Jeez, Serena, where the hell were you this whole time? Could have used your help there. Reservoir Dogs, didn't like it. Pulp Fiction, didn't like it. There's your rumination. You want more, it's not happening. I really do not like Quentin Tarantino's work. Never have. If Shadow donates $2,000, I might.
We have to go back. We can't leave Gerda
out alive. You want to go back in?
It's too late. There isn't enough of him left to go back in after.
Gods, what have we done?
We can't go back. Might as well go forward. We can still do this.
Savos is right. We can make it if we just stay alert.
You know what? Okay. Instead of, you know, $2,000, it needs to be all the money left on my medical bill. Which I don't actually have a number for off the top of my head. I'd have to go figure it out. I have, like, no shouts, too. That's kind of funny. I love Seven. It's the best show, I mean movie, of all time. Nothing is better. Yeah, if I ever want something I just really do not want to ruminate on, I just say that the price is through the roof. So, you know, in other words, nobody will ever ask me to ruminate on it because no one would ever donate that much money. I know the movie you're talking about, Chatter, I just don't remember the name of it. I don't know what you mean, Titans. Honestly, she is a little bit desperate right now, personality-wise. Serena, could really use your help right about now. Actually, I will not comment on Dark Souls, although every time someone asks about it, it gets pushed back. As per the rule. Something tells me I need another mod, Joven. No, Shadow. God, don't do that. I don't want to watch those stupid movies. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound negative. I just really do not enjoy his movies. At all. It'd be like trying to ruminate on... I don't even know what. It'd be like trying to ruminate on All the Bravest. Which admittedly I kind of did. Arshan Guy's Lamentations on the gay rape scene.
You do not answer. Must I use this guttural language of yours?
No, I do not, Chatter. There's your answer. Honestly, I could give you my analysis of the lore of Dark Souls right now. But, shrug. Nobody wants to hear that, though. Me talking about the lore of Dark Souls? Haven't you ever seen Pulp Fiction, Samurai? Yeah, that's right. I've actually seen the movies I'm talking about. Holy crap, huh? So there's our Argonian friend. Pity.
You returned, my old friend.
That was what I assumed originally, Shadow. And while it actually makes tons of sense, I didn't want it to be true. My first reaction is, oh god, please don't do that. I'm not even kidding. When the movie, when Matrix 2, Matrix Reloaded came out, I'm there in the theater, midnight showing, and the ending of Reloaded happened, and my first reaction was, "Oh God, they're in another Matrix," like almost exactly like that. Blech. Yeah.
Do you seek to finish that which you could not?
I don't know if I can actually do a proper rumination on Dark Souls. As weird as it sounds, the actual lore, aka story, aka plot, setting, characters, characterization, and theme, are very threadbare in Dark Souls. By design, no less. So I'm not sure there's much to ruminate on. That'd be like me ruminating on Watch Dogs. I've yet to actually... Well, no, I guess that's not true. I've only ruminated on one movie so far.
Once more.
We're almost here. Admittedly, I've always hated those kinds of stories. The layer within layers of mental perception changing places. I don't know. I've never liked that kind of stories. It's always irritated me, for example, when in a television show I like Star Trek, they're like, "Oh my God, you're in this place," and "Oh, you're totally not," and, "Oh, you're totally out," "Oh, you're totally not." X-Files did that a few times too. Never liked that type of story. Not my thing. Titans, I'm going to do it as a bonus series to anyone who actually watches this stream tonight. Until I'm done with this, you know, this dungeon right here. Anybody notice he's draining our mana in every single time he talks to us? I mean, I'm sure most of you noticed that when you actually played this, but irritating. I don't understand that statement, Faustbase. I like the Matrix series. Like, I'm actually one of the 3 people in the universe who actually liked Matrix Revolutions and Matrix Reloaded. Not a lot, but, you know, I liked them.
Did he warn you that your willpower would be your undoing? That it would only serve to strengthen me?
It's true. Rory's awareness is very small.
Please. Come on. We can't stop now. We have to keep moving.
Where's Elvally? She was right behind me.
Dead. Something grabbed her from behind. Gone before I could do anything.
What's a Matrix apologist?
This is insanity. We never should have come.
You're right. This is all my fault. Should we turn around, head back?
I don't think going back is a good idea.
Going back would be the end of all of us. We keep pushing forward and we'll make it. We will.
Come on, you can make it. Let's go.
Face your end.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, Bandit. I saw that on Cracked, actually. No, I do not, Shadow. Why? mean, they're rather deeply flawed movies. Doesn't mean I don't enjoy Reloaded. Quite the contrary, I actually really enjoy Reloaded. I even watched Revolutions twice. Although the ending kind of killed it for me. Probably sounds familiar, doesn't it? Man, impact spells suck, and I hate them. That's another thing I don't like about Skyrim is impact spells. Ugh. I wouldn't like them as much if there was... I wouldn't mind them as much if there was no charge time. But there is a charge time, and it irritates the piss out of me. No, thank you, Chatter. Oh my god. Well, what you do, Shadow, you take everything that they blatantly stole for the Matrix from the gentleman whose name I can't think of off the top of my head, forgive me, and steal the rest of his ideas for Matrix 2 and 3, and there you go. Another option is you can make it so the trilogy was designed to be a trilogy from the beginning, rather than designed to be a single movie, and then had 2 movies tacked onto it, which honestly is what I feel the real problem is. Well, okay, one of the real problems. The other real problem is that the Wachowski brothers are not that good of writers or directors. No, I have not, Chatter. If it's one of those prank videos, I don't like watching those. Ugh, God, I hate having to deal with this crap. I think this is worse than playing an explosives character, my god. I hear it. No, Neo shouldn't have died. I also don't think there should have been excessive Christ symbolism in it, but that's just me. No sound effect for that, apparently. I'm trying not to use the sword that makes me go crazy, Dios. Although I may have to. Especially given it keeps draining my entire mana pool, as per the usual for this place. Hopefully never, Zeiss. Well, it's not that I think flying cars are stupid. It's that, there's this thing called I don't know how to drive because I'm an idiot. Not me, I actually have a really good driving record, but even just today I saw someone drive incredibly stupidly and almost get into a wreck as a result of it. I'm not sure I would trust someone to do that up in the sky. Sorry. Ah, so, This section. Javin, you are so weird. Fine, we'll do that. I kind of just answered that, Titan. Sorry. Probably some time delay there. I got better than that already. Ah, and my mana's gone. Mana's gone again, because that's how he works. So, can't actually use mana on this guy. I think you know what that means, guys.
What have you got?
She has to, Javin. What else is she gonna do against this guy? And of course, I admittedly have been planning this entire time. Yeah, fun fact. I didn't even know what a Dragon Priest was until the Mages Guild, and then I was like, oh, I'll just go find all of them. Then I spent 70 billion years trying to find the rest of them. Okay.
Who's there? You knew I did something.
So there's the staff. And there's the mask. That beautiful, beautiful mask. We're putting it on right now. Yes, we're putting that on right now. Okay, in all honesty, Javin, how do you kill that as a pure mage? Because I don't know how to do that. Honestly, I don't. He drained my mana so rapidly that I couldn't do anything magically against him at all. When I was playing this, last time around. So... I guess that would work a bit, Javin. I don't know, I do not enjoy magic in this game. I never have. It actually irritates me playing as a mage in this game. I'm actually seriously debating just using a few console commands to shift out of mage, because I'm just really not enjoying myself, and it's affecting my ability to do anything. Because I friendly hate it. Anyways, so... now we've got another little vote to get. Now, normally I'd say that this is a moment at which she could go ahead and continue using the sword, but you guys are pretty adamant that she gets rid of this thing for some reason. So, even though it saved her life against Mordecai, she is now in a position where she has a really good place where she can just go ahead and get rid of the sword. Finally. So, the question really comes down to, is she going to get rid of it here or not? So, we'll go ahead and throw a pull up for this. Bullcrap, Samurai. Watch my New Vegas run sometime. And tell me what's out of bounds and isn't. Favorite Kingdom Hearts game is probably Birth by Sleep. Very close second is Kingdom Hearts 2. And then 358, I imagine. Followed by Dream Drop Distance. Actually, I'd probably put Dream Drop Distance above 358, especially given... Because the first half of Dream Drop Distance was just... Ugh. And then the last half was... Yeah! So... No, it's okay, Wrath. I'll just suffer. Well, what do you mean, Jovan? Explain your thought process. I'm honestly curious. I'm not trying to, you know, shenanigans you. She's the Dragonborn, Olivia, so she has the ability that no one else does. I'd say she's Frodo, but actually, if you paid attention, Frodo couldn't say no to it either. It's okay, Foulspice. The question is, do we abandon the sword here or elsewhere? Now, there's a lot of reasons to abandon it here. It's a pretty good chance no one else is going to be down here in a bit. At the same time, she just kind of dismantled most of the defenses and things here, so there's a pretty good chance, I hate it, Noel, that if she abandons it here, it could be found again in the future, right? I'd specifically put it in this chest right here, actually. But if she tries to get rid of it elsewhere, you know, she's going to have to keep holding on to the damn thing, which is the downside, and figure out where it is. Shadow, when have I ever actually spoiled anything? Please shut up about that. Sorry, I'm really irritable right now. I apologize. Alright, where are we at? But everyone apparently wants us to abandon it here. So we're just going to roam around here for a bit. I am kind of curious how that's going to turn out for her. Honestly, if I was doing a solo roleplay, she would abandon it here, and then off camera, I'd do a little console commanding, and have her kind of run across it again out in the world, which would completely freak her out. Oh, gotcha, Shadow. I apologize. Wow, these are all really useless. Useless loot. Oh, for God's sakes. But yeah, so like she'd just be wandering the world, and then she'd go along, and all of a sudden there would be someone with the sword attacking her, or it would just be lying on the ground in front of her, and she'd be like... She is dancing pretty badly here. Please, please tell me you're joking, Baronessa. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's cut it off. Where are we at? I am waiting very tensely here for the poll to close. Hello, Nightbot? Nightbot? Is Nightbot still in the chat? Welcome back, humanization. Oh, wow. Nightbot just went offline. Like, all of Nightbot. I got a message for it, and I didn't notice it earlier. Well, what was the last known result here? It looks like it wasn't catching votes for a while. Look at that. Yeah, it looks like it didn't actually get any of the votes. Oh, no, I got a couple. There we go. So it got 8. Well, 8 people said to leave it here and 2 said to not. So we're just going to assume that's it. So, in you go. And thus is the one ring left in the depths. Now, there's several ways that her character can now change as a result of this. And by several, I mean basically any. Based on what just happened to her emotionally and mentally, you could make an argument for her being feeling...
Sorry, friends. I'm so sorry. I had no choice. It was the only way to make sure that monster never escaped. I promise you, I'll never let this happen again. I'll seal this whole place away.
Anyways, so she could be feeling rejuvenated, she could be feeling drained, she could feel weaker than normal, she could feel nauseous, she could feel residual anger. You know, basically you can make a good argument for just about any different way that she is perceiving this, now that she has in fact, you know, abandoned the penumbra finally. So I'm curious what you guys think. What yeah, I know, Rory, I would never just do that. I mean, seriously, there's no way it's not going to enslave someone else. Freaking Daedric artifact. Anyways, but you guys voted. But seriously though, what how do you think she feels now? Now, Krenzler already gave me a thought process. Okay, how the crap do you do this garbage? No, how do you... No, okay, so... no, that's 5. And as always, you have to explain... yeah, no kidding, Rory. You have to explain why. I'll do 1, 2... I don't actually have Fireball, do I? Alright, so let's see how this works. That's a bit weird. Naturally, she gives in to skooma, her long-forgotten skooma addiction. Oh, hey, Nightbot, welcome back. Hi, Ancana.
So, you made it out of there alive.
Oh, you're not Ancana. You're an idiot.
You are dangerous. I'm afraid I'll have to take that stuff from you now. Onikano wants you kept safe. Oh, and he wants you dead. Nothing personal.
I agree.
You fool. You don't stand a chance.
Where'd you come from?
Him. Ooh. I like that, Baronessa. I like that a lot. I like that so much I'm going to go with it. Okay, so she's feeling lighter. A lot of people have actually been kind of contradictory here. Some people say she feels lighter. Some people say she feels, feeling withdrawn. She's feeling weaker. Baronessa there says that she is so drained from that mentality and having to rely on herself so much the way she did, she actually can't use magic right now. And I like that idea so much we're going with it. So she actually finds herself incapable of using magic properly. So, she turns to alternate methods. I have heard all of Killer Instinct's music, yes, Chatter. I personally prefer the Raptors, Fulgors, and Cinders. This is going to be rough, because we basically just lost our ability to heal. Which means we need to back the crap off. Serena, 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 Serena! I don't know. I'm having some weird arm things going on here. Do we have any potions right now? We have... yeah, one potion, because we're a vampire. Why would I use hotkeys for weapons, Javan? What's the point of that? Here, look, see? Here's my hotkeys. They're put away. And then they're back! But then I put them away again. Although, I suppose I will be, I suppose that means I will be, switching out another weapon soon here. So fine. We will hotkey this. It somehow... there we go. There. Just for you. She can't heal, Wrath. She cannot heal. She can't cast magic. Although I actually kind of agree with you. Just the axe. Jeez. Okay, yeah, Serena. Serena, Serena. Where the hell are you, woman? I do not like followers, I swear. Okay, we are officially running for our lives. This is actually great. No, seriously, I mean this. We are actually running for our lives here. We are incapable of fighting this thing. And this is great character motivation here. Think about it. All up to this point in time, she has been pretty much the top of the food chain, relatively speaking. Able to rely on her magic, or her firepower, or that amazing sword, which was, you know, incredibly powerful. And now she has none of that. She doesn't have the sword. She doesn't have her magic. She's got nothing. And so she actually runs from the fort.
I'm thirsty.
What would you like to drink? How about that?
I'm thirsty.
I fix. Yeah. There you go. Better?
I'm thirsty.
Drink, 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 drink. Ah, yeah. Good point. We've had this equipped for a while. I don't even know what it's under. Armor, I think.
Night night.
Good night. So yeah, I actually really like this. From a gameplay perspective, this is going to be a huge shift, and trying to make this work is going to be insane. But this is great character development, and she's going to have to start getting used to sneaking again, and stealthing again, and using her assassination techniques and her fighting techniques, and relying on her alchemy in order to function. Because she has basically just been, you know, had everything that she had destroyed, taken from her. It's a good thing she's a vampire. She'd be completely screwed. You know, all the stat boost you get from being a vampire. Yeah, samurai. Long 3 days of work, actually. I'm actually debating... Let's go and let you guys decide. Obviously, well, I guess Nightbot's working again. Do you think she should be able to turn into her lord form or not? What do you guys think? By the way, another great thing that could work for this is the idea that she will have to turn to the companions, aka the Fighters Guild, in order to relearn how to use weapons properly. Because if you remember, the Penumbra was basically feeding her the knowledge, the skill, and the power. So as long as she was wielding that sword, she was incredible. She was a master swordsman. But now she's not, and she pulls out her axe, you know, and she's barely used this thing. Has hardly any capacity to deal with this anymore. So she could go and actually get training with the Companions Guild, which could give character motivation for her to join them and advance through their ranks. Let's see if the Nightbot's up, see if we can vote for this. Forever, Rory. I think we're going to say seal it of right now. Okay, Nightbot's up, so vote 1 for sealing it off permanently. Vote 2 for sealing it off temporarily. No, Dios. No more magic. Probably ever. That is not an axe. Oh. That's a book. That's supposed to be a book. There we go. We'll just fix that there. And actually, oh no, we'll use the axe. We'll use the axe. That was my sister, Kenny. God, I hated that movie, Shadow. I know what you mean, though. I do kind of like the idea that this whole time, as she's running away, imagine she's running across the frost here. She's cold, even though she shouldn't be because she's a vampire. She's weakened. She's actually shivering as she's running along, and she feels so weakened and so lost, and she's desperately trying to get back to the last place where she felt comfortable, which would be the Mages Guild, where she's not actually welcome anymore, if you think about it. Ellie? Help, Ellie! Oh, jeez, look crap. We're in aggro with a bandit. And by a bandit, I mean not a bandit. I mean something much worse than a bandit. No, that makes sense to me. Bandit. That's why I was saying bandit. Oh no, she's gonna stick with light armor, definitely. She has no idea how to maneuver in that big, bulky armor. Never has in all her years. Run away from the giant. Stealth away from the giant. I sometimes do Shadow. Every now and again it'll happen in a game where it's forced on you rather than by choice, which is what I'm doing. And it's just, oh, hey Bragan, you missed the big moment. I know she's actually had a lot of big moments. Oh my god. Can't get away from the creatures of the wilds. Okay, this is bad. Oh, this is really bad. Do I have anything that can make me win this? Nope. Drunk. She could get drunk. Wait, I might actually have something. Yes, food! Must restore health through food. It's the only way. Literally. Yeah, I know, Samurai. I don't actually know who Prince Zuko is. Oh, jeez, the crap. Really? Okay, we're just running. But again, in character, Ellie is running. Just flat running away from this. Cannot take this right now. Let's put this away and just get the hell out of here. Although, while I'm thinking about it, I would Titans, but I don't see the point of it. I'd rather just do it myself. Apparently, I am not flagged as a vampire. Interesting. That would explain a few things. Huh. Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads. Serena is probably back dealing with that giant, if I were to guess. Okay. So she races. We'll just kind of zip this ahead a bit. She runs her way all the way to Winterhold. Powerless, helpless. Serene helping her out. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix that so I can actually be a vampire. I don't think I have any of the vampire benefits right now. Because, yeah. Which would explain a few things. What the hell did I just hear?
Do you need something?
Can you make me a vampire? No. Alright. This is gonna be terrible. After Joven. Now the problem is I consoled out my vampirism in order to advance the Dawnguard quest. Because it's stupid and it won't let you, like, just go through it, because that's retarded. Good night, Gorgoth. So this is kind of cool, though. I've actually been deliberately using the Axe of Whiterun. It's kind of a crap axe, but that's not the point. Baronessa, would you stop trying to ship my characters? I guess it's your characters more than it is mine. The idea of using the Axe of Whiterun would be something that would become a symbol for her. And not yet, not now, but it would over time. I already did, Samurai. Which is why I'm confused about why I'm not a vampire right now. I'm gonna have to find some vampires and just stand there and let them beat on me until I contract a disease. Anyways, the idea here is that the Axe of Whiterun becomes a symbol of her and her deciding to try and lean towards where her original path was taking her, that kind of a thing. As opposed to what she's been doing lately. Whoops, whoops, whoops.
You survived. You have it then?
Bonk.
Let's hope it's as powerful as the Psijics believe it to be. Look for yourself. Ancano's power is growing. We can't crack whatever magic he's using to shield himself. I hope your trip to Labyrinthium was worth it. I'll be right behind you.
Yeah, I think that's what I'll have to do, Baronessa. Should probably do that now, because this fight may be interesting without that. We're not using Magic Shadow. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, let's save real quick. Right. I've got a mask on. Well, we appear to be a vampire still.
Oh, what is it?
And she doesn't say anything about... Okay, so we're flagged as a vampire, but we're not flagged as a vampire. That's wonderful. Okay. Why be confused, Shadow? When you could be all powerful. I don't have any diseases, Rory. That's a problem. No, I know the problem, Joe, and I'm just trying to figure out how to fix this. Is there a reset? Because I wasn't aware of one. Okay, what I need to know. Here we go. Someone with my problem, even. There we go. I'm a vampire. Okay, so now that we're vampires again, actually vampires in addition to vampire lords. Sorry. I got there's people inside there. Oh, you will, Tal. You will. So I hope you guys have realized the full irony of the fact that we're about to become the Archmage who can't use magic. Is Serena with me? Because I think I need her for this fight.
Have you? You think I don't know what you're up to? You think I can't destroy you? The power to unmake the world at my fingertips. And you think you could do anything about it? Ha! I am beyond your pathetic attempts at that. You cannot touch me.
Okay.
Enough! Still you persist? Very well. Come then. See what I can do now.
I was right here, dude. Nice little trinket, isn't it? Yeah, I think the job's just kind of be a formality for her. I love this peaceful music because even though I'm probably about to die, I've never actually found this battle challenging or engaging or otherwise fun. I mean, that's cool, don't mistake me, but then it's like, yeah, okay.
My supreme.
God, the ability to not heal is so crippling. I don't know what you're talking about, Braid. No coincidences here. Still, damn it. God, I hate magic anomalies. Really, 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 really hate these stupid things. So what do you guys think in lore we're going to do about the fact that we're going to be the Archmage who can't cast? Because we have to come up with the reasoning for that, you know, in lore. And why we're dealing with that problem.
Challenge me.
Right. Close back up. There we go. God, finally. That was a little closer than I would appreciate. Serena, could you deal with those things for me, please? I'm gonna be over here, hiding, with my 3 HP. No, John. I like Raid's idea. Man, he had crap loot.
I knew you could do it.
Now what?
I don't know. Ancano is gone, but whatever he's done to the eye doesn't seem...
That is true, Samurai.
I have no idea what to do.
And she is rather well learned in magic, even if she can't use it.
We knew you would succeed.
Oh, that's
Your
comforting.
victory here justifies our belief in you. You have proven yourself more than worthy to guide the College of Winter. The eye has grown unstable. It cannot remain here, or else it may destroy your college and this world. It must be secured.
Yeah, that was actually a genuinely hard fight with no healing. Holy moly.
We shall safeguard it for now.
He's a
You now
squib.
have the opportunity
Oh, she's a
to
squib,
maintain your
yeah.
college and carry on with your lives. You have our gratitude, Archmage.
Meow? Oh. Okay. Hi, guys. Well, okay.
You've done it. The college is safe again thanks to your work. I knew you had it in. I dare say the Psijics are right. There's no one more deserving to be Archmage if
Who appoints an Archmage, anyways, when you think about it?
Consider these yours, and the Archmage's quarters as well. I shall be here for advice, should you need.
Perfect.
Take care.
Now, at least for the moment, she's going to wear these robes, even though, well, they're actually inferior to her own gear, and she doesn't really deserve them, but whatever. Debatable Wrath, but it's definitely in better hands than it would be in basically anyone else in the entire setting, so yes. There's no one else more trustworthy. I can simplify Shadow without going into lore, because I know you don't want to hear all the lore. The Eye was a ridiculously powerful magical artifact that, if misused, could have been used to destroy the world, blah, 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 blah. And so, the Order has taken it away from the hands of idiots, such as our good friends, the Thalmor. And now, it's out of our reach, forever. So I think this is a great pause point, because we're actually going to do something that's fully in character. Hey, we have our own alchemy lab, finally. But no, we're not doing that first. Although we are going to read everything really quick. Gotta read it all, gotta read it all. Must read every part. Here it is. Remember, Ellie is, like, exhausted to the point of, whoa, this time. And I also want to point out that in character, this would be something for the viewers, not Ellie herself. But basically, in character, Ellie just showed how incredibly badass she actually is. Because while exhausted, drained, incapable of using magic, and incapable of using her vampire lord form, she still was in such a state that she managed to defeat a powerful Thalmor mage who was empowered by the freaking Eye. She managed that while in the absolute worst combative state she's ever been since she came to Skyrim. She was arguably weaker than she was when she was level 1 in lore and in story. And of course the fact that I couldn't heal and was using this dinky little axe of stupid. So that's actually kind of cool, I think. But yeah, she's going to go to bed for like 20 hours. She's tired. And I'm going to stop streaming. And we'll decide where she goes next. Because all of a sudden the world is open. Now that the sword's gone, and now that all the immediate crises are dealt with, we basically are back to the open world sense of things. So check something real quick here. Yeah, we're still a vampire. Alright, so whatever. I've only done that once, Mraid, and it was after I'd worked myself to exhaustion over the period of 3 days without sleep, so... Arc 2 is complete in her story! Yeah, pretty much, Breakwin. But yeah, honestly, the next arc is probably going to be the finale arc. We've got potential to do the Companions quest, the Thieves Guild, the main plot, and Dragonborn. And honestly, that's probably going to be it. Those 4 biggies. And possibly Hearthfire. I'd really love to get that snowy area as a house, because I love snow. Anyways, but yeah. This is what we got left. So, hope you join me. I am very likely to be streaming tomorrow, because I kind of want to push through the rest of Skyrim and get it off my plate so that I can start working on other stuff. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you had fun, and hope you like the new format. Whee! I'm in a box! Anyways.